Jesus Christ, I've been talking for like 20 minutes. Anyway, can you hear me? If you can hear me, let me know because I've been talking for like 20 minutes. I think my mic was even off. So basically, what I was saying, I'm in the shop because I've talked for quite a long time. Today's topic involves like security in Ghana because, and today, we are going to talk about um, security in Ghana, and is there a culture of silence creeping into the Ghanaian, the Ghana, creeping into Ghana or not? Is it that we just crying wolf, or this it's actually there? And as part of that, I think we're going to start. I mean, both of them go hand in hand, but we're going to start with some 3 videos. I intend to start with a culture of silence, whether it's actually there or we just crying wolf. We just, it's just a figment of our imagination, or we just getting it all wrong. It's, I'll play that video and then we'll go about it. But I was just giving you a quick background. This involves a guy called Kaka. He was shot and killed, I think, last weekend. No, he was beaten to death. He was last weekend. We don't know Senipa Bako's and Microphone, but the first time we heard, I think a few people beat him up and killed him. A short background, they say he's very active in politics now, or support to the ruling party right now. Now, he had a choice of a candidate, I know person yet DC. There was a lady that was vying to be DC now or supported, but the lady was disqualified. And the opponent, as the song known as DC, became DC, and he didn't like it. But he goes around also on social media, very active. It's part of the Fix the Country campaign. He goes around making videos, showing what is wrong with his little town, and asking the government to come fix it in very strong words. It's whilst doing that, the rumor is that the DC feels say he's doing that to spite him. It's he got some he got some threats from the DC's people. Or the threats, call back to the police station to go report it. To call report it, the police also sent him a warning letter. I think I saw the letter on the internet. I was working quite late. I should have just. I think when we were working, I'll find it and see. I don't know how authentic it is, but the police wrote him a letter warning him to shut up. Basically, that what he's doing is making the government unpopular. And he was also warned about that. But this kid kept on doing it. Until in the night of Sunday, he was murdered. So when it came out, and Fix Ghana, leaders of the Fix Ghana, the Fix the Country movement, came on social media and put out that one of their members have been killed in Israel because of the things that he's saying and because he supports the Fix the Country thing. So the youth in Israel got angry. After burying him, decided to go on a procession. And on going on the procession, the police was called to come quell the situation because they thought that was a demonstration and they need to be stopped. The army was called, and with the videos and the pictures we've seen, the army got there first before the police, and then started shooting live ammunitions into the crowd. And two people got killed. I think 6 people got shot, 2 got killed, and 4 in critical condition. Into problem. That's this. So I'm going to play the video real quick. It's a very short video. So that's the quick video I was showing. The French soldiers got there and they started shooting. So after that, when the 2 guys died, now one person there, they went on a demonstration, and now 2 people are dead. People that started from the videos we saw, I think somebody asked a question. Hansen said, did he take cover to shoot? Well, there was a picture that showed one of the soldiers actually kneeling and aiming at the protesters, kneeling and shooting at the protesters. So, people took issue with that. And the debate in Ghana is that why were the soldiers called to instead of the police to go take care of that? Because soldiers are just trained to kill, and you don't send soldiers to go do a policeman's job. So and this comes, the impression is being created, said, in the country now, nobody can speak anything bad. Nobody can say anything bad about the ruling government. And if you do, they're going to come after you, somehow, one way or the other. With the Captain Smart issues, Captain Smart issue now. This is a journalist that was working for a good company. He was high in the hierarchy of the company, and he came out on his radio show and openly, openly talked about the corruption in the government and all that stuff. And the next day he was fired. And then the country people planned a demonstration, and they've been taken to court anytime they want to go to the demonstration. They take them to court, they win the case, they start, because Ghana law, who's all called demonstration, and so notify police to come and protect you. Police no minimum crime, so America just won't even call demonstration. But more crime say America just say more protection. And if you can't get the protection, you can't do the demonstration. It is affects the country for more notice now. Normally, court. The police will take the country people to court. Court. By the time on be the assembly, not date no more police phone, not apam. So they have to issue another notice to the police again. When the police get it, they take it back to the court, and then they'll go to court, win the case, and by the time they win the case, the date has expired, and they have to do it over again. So they are in this perpetual cycle that police follow more notice. I think this is the second time they've been to court and won their case, and the police have sent them to court again. It's just going to go over and over and over. So people are asking themselves, say, if anybody wants to express himself, especially when it's about the economy or it's about the government, then that's going to be a problem. They're going to take them to court, and then after that, they come to court by the time they finish. So it just go on and on and on and on and on like that. So that's one thing we're going to talk about today. The second thing we're going to talk about is, well, first of all, let me show you something funny. My favorite minister for fisheries and let me show you that video. It's a very short video. And I've done a video about it, and I think our first, when we were discussing human resources about the sea and all that, we mentioned that about the river bodies. It's our favorite minister, Honorable Howard Yakubu. He went to the beach today to go lock the sea. And we've already discussed this. The problem with protecting our seas and the fishes in our seas, it's not our fishermen. It's not the local fishermen. The local fishermen are using very small nets, and they don't go deep enough, and so they can fish throughout the year, and there's not going to be any problem. What it is that they are foreign trawlers, most of them illegal, that are using some system of fishing that sweeps the sea up, and they catch everything when they throw that net. What they do is they use two boats, one there, another there, big boats, and a net that is small enough. Like Tokrone nets, they are so small that they can just sweep the sea and just pull them. Mostly they are from China or from somewhere from Europe or from Japan. And because of this, because the Navy is not being able to protect our sea from these people, or I don't know what's happening, whether there are some people in cahoots with these people. The problem of low yield in the sea keeps on going on and on and on. And they are blaming the local fishermen who are using some old tactics of fishing that has nothing to do with degradation of the environment. And they are not catching small fish or sweeping the sea anytime they go about it. They take the punishment. So a month or a couple months in the year, the government will ban all this, the canoes and the boats, to see, the local canoes and the local fishermen from going to fish. And it's a huge problem. So the tourists go in, and our local fishermen get punished for it. So this week was the week that I think this month is going to be the month that the sea will be lost. So our favorite minister, went there to do a ceremony today. And I thought that was very funny. It's only about 36 seconds. Listen. So there she is holding the key. Yeah, I think the funny part is when she was asking the gentleman by him whether the key turns left. It turns whether it's the key turns counterclockwise or clockwise. I thought that was funny. Anyway, those are some of the gymnastics we get in Ghana. All right, so the second one I was talking about we insecurity in Ghana, and this one I personally think that the police have done very very well, and they should go about it. If they can take every case and go about it this way, that doesn't involve a policeman being killed, I think that's going to be wonderful. The good case is that I mentioned in last week that the policeman who was shot in the bullion van, the perpetrators have been, about four of them have been arrested. And only this week, there's been a couple of um, arms being seized by robbers, and I think I also heard that the army on the north shot six people dead that they believe to be Boko Haram. I'm here to authenticate that. I think um, that was just a diversionary tactic, but I'll find out and see if that really happened. Um, yeah, that's one. So the, there's also another issue that I want to really talk about is the media reportage of all the things that is happening. And I was watching the news, I think it was 2 days ago, and an interesting thing happened on the news when the Joy FM presenter was interviewing somebody from Fix the Country, somebody from Fix the Country. And the guy and him had a little banter on live television. I thought it was funny. It wasn't. It was serious, but I thought there should be more of that. News reportage is what is going to shape people's mind as to what is actually going on. Where you hear the news actually tells you, can shape your mind as to um, which side you are on. Who tell news are? Eh? If you're listening to Fox, or if you're listening to CNN, and they be determined, it's not all the time, but mostly, if you're neutral, whether you're listening to Fox or CNN, can determine where you stand on the issue. And I think newscasters and journalists have a responsibility to just report what they see. Okay, don't report what you feel. Just report what they see. And I think this one was a very very. Oh no, this is the long one. I don't want this long one. Yeah, let me forward it a little bit so that I'm busy. Got a nice and interesting country. Yeah, so this is a journalist. First, he interviewed a professor, and let's listen to what he said.
Is that order is beginning to break down.
mm,
Control of professional. Now, for crowd control or riot control purposes, you would need the police. It is the police that serves as the first line of action. Based on their assessments, even prior to the riot, if they think they cannot respond, they will normally ask for a backup. Now, the police are important in playing this role because they've been provided with training as to how to handle crowds. Let me make this point in passing, however, that one of the weakest aspects of law enforcement in Ghana relates to riot control. So most of the inquiries into police performance in Ghana have dealt with riot control. Now, when the police cannot handle the demonstrators, because of our peacekeeping experience, we now have a formed police unit that are trained to handle much more difficult situations. So, but the military are trained to do one thing, and that is what you've shown us in the video. So, what we need to ask ourselves relates to who issued those orders, what was the threat assessment, what sort of understanding did the military have prior to their arrival? Because, Evans, it looks to me as if there are quite a number of failures here. First relates to the presence of the intelligence officers from the National Intelligence Bureau. Now, when this gentleman was beaten by either criminals or whoever, killed him and eventually died, the use of a juror had sought empathy and understanding. That look, please help us. That we think people are using their positions to intimidate and to create trouble for us. Now, irrespective of the veracity of that statement, precisely because the individual who has been mentioned then sits on the Metropolitan or Municipal Security Council and has that authority and power to deploy with the backing of the council, either police officers or any other security force, that creates a bit of a problem. So the first video and the actions that we see raises issues of command and control, of professionalism, and of how to respond to an unarmed crowd. The second video that you show creates a disturbing picture of youth, kids who are furious, who think their lives are not worth living, and therefore they will take the risk of attacking, a police vehicle. The symbolism in that, when armed officials run away from unarmed civilians, is that order is beginning to break down.
mm,
And it sends a very clear signal that were we to organize much better, we will be able to have more victories. So when we juxtapose the two, what the conclusion one can make is that we are heading towards a tipping point in which a combination of frustrations, a sense of exclusion, and an in-depth and a growing sense of anger and a willingness to strike a blow against the state, irrespective of the outcome, is beginning to bubble to the fore.
mm,
Now, This is something that we need to look at, and we need to pull back from the brink. Because when unarmed civilians decide to attack representatives of the state, that is a specific, deliberate decision that those people have made. And they've made it because they feel that life is not worth living, that they need to make their voices heard, and they are willing to bear the consequences of their actions. That is dangerous, and that sends a signal, not only to us in this country alone, it sends a signal to those in our contiguous states who have been looking for opportunities for a chink in the armor to be able to hurt us. Edwira probably epitomizes a shift in civil security relations in this country. And I think it is a very unfortunate day in the democracy that we have built, or that we are seeking to build and embed in this country.
Oliver, you today, your group, and I guess also the Economic Fighters League petitioned the IGP. What was the point of that petition?
I'll come to address the point or pointlessness of that petition in a minute. But before that, I want to take issue with some of the things I've been hearing today. Professor Enian, for instance, talks about a riot, and maybe the language is used loosely, but a riot is a violent disturbance of the peace by the crowd. That's the official meaning of what a riot is. Now, at which point in your videos did you see violent public disturbance before the police intervened? And I asked you again deliberately to point out when you're saying that the crowd was violent. He's determined again.
Just on that, I mean, I can only tell you what our reporters who were on the ground had reported and what the video showed. I mean, we saw before the military anything, but the second one I showed, you saw the police van, the riot van, the water.
No, hold on. I think you're misplacing what I'm saying. I'm saying that the police said they went in to quell a riot, which implies that the riot was in progress before the police arrived. You cannot show a police van as the evidence of the riot. So let's be clear on that.
I was coming to that substantive point. I mean, from what our reporters again tell us, this was a procession on the back of the burial of Saka. I mean, the man who unfortunately was killed, and in that procession, some of the youth in that procession, of course, angry and upset that a colleague and friend of theirs had died, blocked roads. And it was then that the police then, of course, were called in to deal with that situation. That is
so a blockage of the road, not a riot.
No, but I mean,
I'll jump to the other ideas.
Oliver, you know, I mean,
I am also drawing attention to this because your language has been misleading.
No. I mean,
allow me I know it's your platform. You can continue however you want it. But I think that when we are being deliberately obtuse, or whether for right or wrong reasons, or because we are ill-informed, it is important that those are also called out.
Yeah, I mean, of course.
We have done nothing in this conversation but to cast Edwira as some sort of special event which epitomizes the break of law and whatnot, rather than call proper attention to the fact that this is nothing but the playbook of how security forces have behaved. And so I'm drawing attention to that. And I'll draw more of that attention to some things that have been said on the platform.
Yeah, I mean, but that you need to acknowledge that point. You come to the word of riots,
he said procession. He said procession.
Yeah, but I just indicated.
I mean, procession is not a riot.
Baker, you are a lawyer. You know that you know that processions. We have the Public Order Act. If you start blocking roads, there's no justification what happened.
A procession, whether under the Public Order Act or not, is not a riot. We have a tendency in this country to confuse.
I think at this point, Baker was bringing. I think what Baker is trying to say that it was an intention. Bringing the soldiers there was intentional. It was orchestrated by somebody. That's what he's trying to insinuate. And President Thanos Pessoa Chen said, you know, I think Baker wants to blame the Pessoa Chen said they are skewing the narrative because police for no, you're from Omumbra no must stop a riot. A riot, say when people are just about and causing violence, and there was nothing like that before the police arrived. So what the police was really, what were they really called for? So let's continue to listen.
Baker.
A procession, a protest,
Baker.
a riot, and this are the same
when you go on a procession, it's a procession. When you block roads, it turns into something else. That it's not lawful. A procession, obviously, the law allows that if you satisfy the legal remit. But once you start blocking roads, you then start straying into other people's rights because then you are blocking the road. That turns into law. This it's not a law and order situation that the police need to restore. The roads have to be open for people to move. That is where the descriptions come in. Can we move on to the other issues that you have?
I am not intended to move on because you have again mischaracterized what I'm saying. A blockage of a road is not a riot. If you think that is illegal, call it illegal blockage of the road. Do not use the words riot because they paint a different picture. Again, Kuseni has talked about that the fact that we see kids following a police van means that they have determined for themselves that lives are not worth living. Kids in a republic made that determination for themselves that their own lives are not worth living. These are kids of poor people. If these were rich people's kids, we would be saying that they have determined for themselves that their lives are not worth living. You talk about
missiles. I've said that. Look, I think this conversation.
Making your point.
Your attitude just doesn't make this discussion worth it.
This is about attitude. This is about calling you a function.
Oliver,
let me say a very big thank you. And then
this is intellectual immaturity, to be honest. If you feel like this is the reason why you're doing the program,
Oliver, you cannot use words like that on my show. As simple as that.
Which words?
No, you cannot say intellectual immaturity. You can't do that. I mean, you cannot. Wait, Oliver, listen to me. You started when, in fact, you're quoting Professor Inning out of context. When you say that he said, excuse me, we all listen to him. I understand the context in which he was speaking was not what you are currently portraying. He didn't say in the derogatory manner to say that their lives were not worth it. He was making a bigger point about people who feel frustrated with the system, that they believe that at this moment we can take on armed police officers in spite of knowing that could lead to consequences for our lives. He was making a bigger point, and I wonder why you skew that into making it sound as if he was saying he's my guest. So
if you prefer,
you cannot do that.
President is on the platform himself. He spoke and all of this. Listen, I wrote down his words.
But
he said that.
But he said it in the context. You cannot take that. He said a lot of things.
You are putting your own reading.
No, you are, and I think we need to be.
You are not. Then you are.
Can we?
A different no, is that what you're saying?
No, I am the moderator.
So let me make my point.
But you can't. Make your point without sounding. Because you say this is an intellectual exercise. So don't call people names.
Let's do the intellectual exercise.
Don't call people names. Let's make your point.
Let's make the intellectual exercise. It says that this shows that kids have determined that their lives are not worth living. Now, anybody, and I'm saying this on record again, anybody can play this back and see whether I have misquoted him or taken him out of context. Now, you have also talked about clash, and you said you were going to show us the clash. You said that projectile or missiles, your words, were being thrown again at the police. Missiles. Now, missile is a guided rocket, which is an airborne range weapon capable of self-defense.
I think at this point, Mr. Baker was kind of overreaching because when they say missile, I mean, from watching Palestine and Israel ever since I was a kid, that's why they call anything that you throw. Stones, sticks, they call them missiles. So that it's not a military technical missiles like guided bombs or something like that. I don't think that's what he meant by missiles, but you know, I think he was overreaching here.
Oliver. Again, Oliver. No. Wait. Let's have. Wait. No. This is not a conversation. You are beginning to. I think you're trivializing a lot of issues. Wait. No. Oliver. In regular use of descriptions when it comes to riots, protests, etc. When it's described, listen, let me make a point. When it's described that people were throwing objects and missiles, your definition of missile is what we know as a technical definition. It also applies to if a person is throwing stone, it's just a broad descriptor of everything else that people in the protest might throw. So for you to take that and put it out and say, I was describing them as having technical ballistic missiles that were thrown. Yes. I mean, that everybody also listens and knows these descriptions. That's not what it is.
No, they do not, because MAD is the word test.
No, excuse me.
You are competent in the English language.
Excuse me. That you know.
Allow me to be able to make them.
No, you can't. You cannot make points. You cannot misrepresent.
No, I am not misrepresenting.
You cannot misrepresent people on the show and claim that that's what you're saying.
To clarify.
No, you can't.
By use of missile, you are not referring to the technical language.
No. Everybody. I think everybody who listens to the show knows what I meant.
Nobody understands. No, I do not understand it. I'm listening to you.
Okay, so now you understand.
Non-technical term.
Now you understand.
Then you will have the opportunity to respond.
Oliver, so now you understand.
I haven't even made my point.
So now you understand.
You don't want me to make.
So let's proceed.
You don't want me to make the point.
I really wish you can go to the substantive points of the conversation question.
Substantive points, because people's lives are at stake. Civilian lives and the right to protest and right to demonstrate is at stake. Because when we militarize the conversation about how rights are exercised, we put people's lives at risk. These are substantive issues with a democracy. And I make this point not to be pedestrian. I make this point not to call anybody out or to insult anybody or ask to feel themselves because it's your problem. This is not about that. That is about respecting constitutional rights, and that the kind of language we use puts people's lives in jeopardy. Now we have today, with the Economic Fighters League, submitted a letter to the Inspector General of Police, and we've requested for the audience because we do believe that these issues need to be escalated at the highest level. And we feel that when they say that these issues need to be escalated at the highest level, I mean that the acts we have seen are evidence of state-sponsored violence that offends our constitution and which makes mockery of our claims of being a democracy. And we feel that in his authority as the highest law enforcement officer, that this must be given the necessary gravity and diligence that we haven't seen applied to the conversation. And so this is what we are hoping for. But in that meeting, we are going to be requesting him to formally resign. And he's not the only person who has failed, because we do think that accountability at the highest level must be brought to the conversation. Now, Professor Koseni will talk about this, because he does have the expertise in talking about these issues, and he has said so historically, that we have consistently seen failures in our national security vis-a-vis how we deal with crowds when they need them. It has always resulted in violence against the crowds. And we have seen them go on and claim that machetes, firearms, and whatnot. We want an independent process, which we do not believe the persons at the highest level hold that accountability, credibility to lead the process. And that's why we submitted that petition.
Okay. Well, what sort of response did you get when you submitted that petition? Did you get a positive response?
Well, it's a letter requesting for an audience with the Inspector General. Traditionally, and I don't know why we allow this in this country, when you submit a request to the police, they do not formally acknowledge receipt. They tell you it's not our practice and they do not do so. But what we have done consistently is that when we do release the letter, we will put that public. Because, and again, we seem to be rolling our eyes at this. But I'm saying this on record because Ernesto Yabua, when he was arrested for the vigil, the police claimed he had been notified them. But in fact, what they do is, and we have seen the same thing when we submitted the request for them to investigate the offenses related to Sir John's funeral, that they refused to acknowledge receipts. And so this is something which is consistent.
All right, so this goes on and on and on and on and on. But that's the debate they're having in Ghana right now. It's, what really went on. I think the only problem we're having right now is that instead of the minority in parliament disagreed when the president came out after a while, came out and told the minister in charge to form an interministerial committee or commission, I think committee, to do a public whatever, to delve into this issue and to let everybody know what really happened. And the minority also about you can't let people who we think are complicit in the situation be the guys who man investigations. So they are not going to come out. We're not going to trust what they come out with. So form an independent commission, to into the issue, so that whatever comes out, we can trust the result that comes out. And that's what the government is doing about it. But I think some arrests have been made following the death of Kaka, the death of the activist. I think I have a shot here that I can play. It's in tree, let's see. So if you don't understand, I'll summarize it. I'll summarize it in English for people who are watching us that kind of that don't understand tree.
Amomakwachi Emranti kwa miemi tutu se wamo enekum eye Ibrahim Mohammed a wanya mfrihia aduasa ne num eye 35 a wano airborne trade afa fix the country hu ewa adwira Asante Emademo na sa Emranti kwa ya chi wamo baako din eye Ibrahim Isaka ena Fuseni Alasan na posifo mo Asante Mandemu chirema no mo ese eye enra adwada na eye junde to so aduonu wotwe anwumere beye nondu aboapa ho sima aduanan enum 10:45 p.m. and now more aquachi sabrante kwanwa say so more ebua shama mu akoso na ASP Godwin Ahiano awa no kasa adi ema posi adwumako no ewo Asante Mantemu akasa acheche nsemu say.
Welcome to the Ashanti Regional Police Command. This morning, I would like to inform the general public that the Regional Command has arrested 2 suspects in the attack and murder of Ibrahim Mohammed alias Kaka, age 45 and resident of Dagoba Line, a suburb of Ejura in the Ashanti region. The suspects are Ibrahim Isaka alias Anyas and Fuseni Al-Hassan, currently in custody. Both were arrested at about 10:45 p.m. on Monday, that is yesterday, 28 June 2021, following police intelligence. Witness accounts show that the deceased was ambushed in front of his house when he was returning home on his motorbike at about 1:30 a.m. on Sunday, 27th June 2021. He was rushed to the Ejura Government Hospital and was later referred to the Komfanochi Teaching Hospital, where he died at midday, 28 June 2021. Police investigation will also extend to rumors that the deceased was a journalist and a member of the Face the Country movement to ascertain if the murder was linked to his work or the movement. Police appeals to anyone who has any relevant information to share with the police on mobile phone number 0299 207770. Such persons may also report to the nearest police station or the police emergency numbers 191, 18555 and 112, or WhatsApp the police on this number 020-6639-121. Thank you.
So there you go. I think some arrests have been made, and that's what I recommend. The Ghana police. They're actually doing well. Anytime there's been series of arrests this week, anytime there's pressure on them to do something, they get it done. That's what I've seen about them. If there's any issue that the citizens start giving pressure, it should be no mass solving. So they didn't 1 week crime, but they've made some arrests. Basically, the police is saying that they've made arrests of 2 people, and they are going to start their investigation, and they're going to find out whether the murder has something to do with him being in the fix hashtag fix the country movement, or some people, there are rumors going around saying he was a journalist, whether it has to do with the journalism that he practiced. So they're going to work on that. But that's not the only thing. As I said in the beginning, the police have made good strides on the Bullion Van case. Police force also almost because of the pressure, they've made some gains. So there we go.
Nissan van with registration number GT8592W with the inscription Montran Company at Adadempo, Jamestown, near Accra on Monday, June 14. The robbers were said to have fired indiscriminately, shot a policeman on escort duty, and killed him instantly. The body of number 58449 G Constable Emmanuel Osei of the National SWAT was found in a pool of blood at the front seat. The driver of the Bullion van also sustained gunshot wounds and is currently receiving treatment at the Kolebu Teaching Hospital. Onlookers led police to a wooden structure where the body of one Ifwa Bedu, aged about 40, was found lying in a pool of blood. According to the Jamestown Police Command, who rushed to the scene of the incident, spot inquiries revealed the deceased was pursued and shot at for raising an alarm. Police also located Grace Essel, one of the officials who escaped unhurt. She has been sent to the police hospital for treatment. The 2 bodies have been conveyed to the police hospital morgue for preservation and autopsy. The suspected robbers made away with a policeman's weapon and an unspecified amount of money. Police say investigations are underway.
Yeah. Also, in another news, I think today I heard that the army somewhere in Upper West, the army just came to town and just started beating people up for the rumored reason that one of them has lost his mobile phone, and he suspects that taxi that he took has stolen the mobile phone. So he just went to the barracks and brought about 10 people. I don't know the term for that. Is that a platoon or whatever? He just brought a team of 10 people, and then they started beating up people. Jesus Christ. I think the stress is quite too much for everybody in Ghana now. The army is just, run route. Meanwhile, how Yakubu is locking the sea. Jesus Christ. Oh, is that 4th of July already? My neighbor is testing his firework. Jesus Christ. I think I have to put myself on mute sometime. All right. Another police arrest. Another police for the fans kakra. Another police arrest. I say, Jesus Christ, this neighbor is going to kill me. You do this till like the whole 1st of July. My kids love it though, but it's a situation. Oh, wow, yours too, right? Yeah. I live very close to South Carolina, on the borderline of South Carolina, and for there everything is legal. They'll do that throughout the whole week. Can't even sleep. Sometimes midnight, dawn. You go to South Carolina, buy all the illegal ones, and bring it back to North Carolina because we're on the border, and just light it up. I think all Black people should start doing the same at Juneteenth. So I don't know, a real independence. All right, let me show you just one more video whilst I wait for my panelist, so that we can discuss these issues. And then there's some more check. I think if we give the police more funds and more pressure, they'll work for us.
Suspects involved in various crimes committed across the capital.
Hopefully you can hear this.
The criminal acts, according to the police, include attempted robbery and illegal possession of narcotics and fake currencies. The suspects are currently in the custody of police assisting investigations, with the police urging the public to volunteer information to help curb crime in the city. Here's a news desk report detailing some of the criminal acts.
On 30th June 2021, police arrested 4 men for allegedly trafficking substances suspected to be Indian hemp at Alija in Ashali-Boche. The 4 suspects, Bismarck Pomono, 27, Brides Deku, 32, Francis Asare, 42, and Richard Aguaje, 22, were rounded up by the police when they were offloading 31 sacks containing compressed cakes of plant materials suspected to be Indian hemp. The 4 suspects are currently under detention for investigation and prosecution, and the substances seized for analysis. In a similar event in Dansoman, police dispatched a team to Bean Lodge Hotel on the 29th of June upon a tip-off that some individuals were involved in counterfeiting. 5 suspects, namely Akwesi Boateng, Michael Marfor-Hene, Bismarck Terrier, Richard Walker, and Prince Nketia, who were in possession of a pistol, 108 bundles of fake dollars, and a wooden box containing 34 bundles of fake safer currency and a quantity of fake 200 Ghana cedi notes in an ice chest mixed with powder, were arrested at the lodge. With the exception of suspect Prince Nketia, who has been granted bail, all others are still in police custody, assisting with investigation. At Amasaman, however, police received a distress call on the 29th of June to the effect that thieves had broken into Amasaman Melcom. The patrol team within jurisdiction responded swiftly and arrested suspect Richard Esirifi, aged 22, who attempted to escape by jumping from the first floor of the shopping mall to the ground. He sustained injuries on his left hand and right leg. He was arrested and is currently on admission at the hospital for treatment. His 3 other accomplices escaped arrest, and efforts are underway to get them arrested.
Yeah, I think Joy FM have to stop using that song. I think that's a BBC. That's a BBC song. Plagiarism or Ghana, it's ridiculous. Yeah, Obaya, this is the 1st of July. I'm on your training. He's not going to stop. Jesus Christ. It's going to be non-stop throughout the night. Oh, you're in Washington State. Yeah. I'm in North Carolina. It's not legal here. But problem is, I live right about, say about a few kilometers to the border. So they can just drive into South Carolina and buy whatever they want. Yeah. Yeah, so that's what I have for you guys today. And if anybody cares to join me, I'm on it and I'm waiting for you guys. I think I've been on it for an hour now. Yeah. Yeah, so I just say Ghana is not secured. Other people are saying so the country is insecure, but because of social media and you know, yeah, because of social media, any little crime that goes on is shown. So it's heightened to the state that everybody think that there's too much violence. It's just the same as it used to be. Some analysts actually showed a graph of violence going down, but of crime going down. But people are saying no, it's not about crime. It's violence crime. Ghana, whenever there was a violent crime and people are arrested, it just used to be Nigerians. But now it's just a lot of Ghanaians and a lot of Fulani. And the government is saying Boko Haram is also, trying to attack us from our northern border. I don't know how true that is. I think if it's very true, they would have made a bigger noise than it is now. But, that's what is going on. Okay, that aside. We talked about Galamsey some time ago. Talking about the government seizing excavators from Galamsey operators. They seized the about 500 plus excavators from Galamsey operators. Galamsey is illegal mining. From illegal miners, and they stored it. So some of the miners said, oh wait, they weren't illegal, they actually had license. So they went to court, and court said they could go get their excavators back. No excavators, diggers. And got on for instance, articulator, the big one. So they went to look for them, and apparently 500 of those excavators were missing. The government couldn't find them. The person who was in charge of it, I think Dr. Frimpong, mentioned some few big names that those were the people that were in charge of the excavators, and 500 of them. In a small country like Ghana, 500 of them were missing. So that was first war against Galamsey. So early this year, after the president won the presidency, Galamsey was still going on. People were making noise. The media was making a lot of noise. The media was making a lot of noise. Why messages just disappeared. Nobody knew where they were. People in charge were just pointing fingers at each other. You have it, I don't have it. So, that case went to sleep. And then early this year, the government started another campaign, which they call the Second War against Galamsey. And at this time, the government says, he's not going to seize the excavators and bring them in for it to disappear and have problems. So the solution right now is to burn them, set them on fire, basically. So the soldiers going around, soldiers and policemen and all these forces going around, setting people's excavators on fire. I think what they were supposed to do is that if they find an excavator within 100 miles, is it 100 miles or 100? I think 100 meters. when they find an excavator within 100 meters of any river bank, they are going to assume that they're using it for galamsey, and then they're going to burn it. So the government has banned a lot of excavators since then. Okay, today, I mean, there were people that were opposing, the minority was opposing it. There were lawyers that were saying this was illegal. You cannot be the police, the judge, and the executioner at the same time. You have to take them to court for the court to find them guilty and prescribe some punishment for them. You can't just go and start burning people's excavators, especially if you don't cut them in the act. The government said, I know what I'm doing, went about doing that. Then we had today that one of the companies whose excavators were burnt has taken the government to court. And the court, it came out today that the court decided that his excavators were burnt legally. And so he's won a judgment debt of $15 million for all his equipment that was burnt. So that makes it 2 judgment debts only this week. From last week to this week, there have been 2 judgment debts. The $175 million that we talked about, I think it's about $200 million now. And somebody just won a $15 million for people burning excavators. And mind you, they've burnt hundreds of excavators. So, I mean, they're going to pay this over and over and over and over again. Guess who's going to pay for that? The taxpayer. We are going to pay for that. Anytime you send money home, yes. You're just going to wonder why the exchange rate is going down all the time. And I say the exchange rate is staying where it stays, although Bloomberg says it's going up all the time. No, we're just going to, because they're going to take taxes to pay all these things. So, that's Ghana government mismanaging money and resources all the time. We're just waiting to see. But I know there's going to be more of them because Charlie burnt a lot of excavators. Come to think of it, I mean, wouldn't the Attorney General, does the Attorney General knows that this is going on? Attorney General has to advise the government about stuff like this. So that will be excavated. We are all pissed about this galamsey thing. But, like Chachu Chikata said, you can't fight illegality with illegality. The government has to be seen to be respecting the law. And in this particular case, they didn't. And I'm sure there's more to come. That's another one. Let me see if I can get a little video about that. I think I had another video for you guys. Let me see. Where did I put that? Yeah, I'm absolutely cool with that. Some of these news, you gotta watch where it comes from, because when it comes from this, Ghana is just like the U.S. They have this conservative radio stations that will just say everything that the ruling government wants them to say, and they have these liberal radio stations that will only say things that the opposition want them to say. You gotta avoid them. You gotta go with the mainstream ones, which are less skewed than all these ones. Everybody's chiming in. And the funny thing is that people from the entertainment industry are fighting over who is quiet about this, but because in the previous government, when there was a lot of doom song, when there was a lot of light outs and power interruptions, it was very loud. Everybody in Ghana was very loud, and everybody was talking about it. They went on demonstrations after demonstrations about it. And people are wondering why people are quiet nowadays. And the only people who are making noise about this are making it on Twitter. They're not making videos, they're not going procession. And that's what brings the perception that, there's a culture of silence right now in the country that, to me, just, go on live and start criticizing the government. Is it Ahmed Swali, the investigative journalist that made a documentary about the Ghana Football Association, and I think the president's and the vice president's name was mentioned in the investigation. That guy was shot in broad daylight, and up to now, nobody has been arrested for that. And then as a couple of journalists had to, after writing some scathing articles and doing some investigations about people in government, had to go on self-imposed exile. I think Manasseh, if you know that guy, I think they had to go hide in somewhere in South Africa. And there was this little girl there was this lady journalist that was shot dead a couple of months ago. And what just happened at Tijura and the Captain Smart incident. But, when you look through history, I mean, even just the past government before this one, you can find examples. But I think the atmosphere today is more tensed. That everybody feel like they cannot talk now. We don't hear from all the musicians and movie actors and all that. And I think people are saying the government is just using the pandemic as an excuse. to, an excuse to stop people from any public demonstration. It makes the government looks bad basically. I wonder where Nana Hosea is. I need to fix this camera real quick. Let me find this video. There's this video that I was looking to show you about. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this one, but it's just that the Ghana Parliament, whilst all this insecurity thing is going on, that I'm not against praying, but the Ghana Parliament, I think it might be a committee sitting that is trying to pass a bill to criminalize LGBT in Ghana. I'm like, well, so whilst all this issue is going on, what Ghana is doing right now is finding out a way to ban like LGBT. What? I don't know, man. I don't know how to feel about this one. What has LGBT, done to us? I mean, what have they done to the security in the country? Or, I mean, let me let me show, instead of you to focus and find solutions about what what is really going on in the country. These people are just praying. You know, I don't think I can read God's mind, but I think this is one of the prayers that I know for sure that God is not going to answer. You are lawmakers. If you feel, but I don't see any reason to, but if you feel if you're going to make a law against it, just do it. Take it to the floor and debate. You make the laws. Why are you praying? Huh? Your farmer, someone call you Juma, to go and think about stuff. To go and think about how to move the country forward. And you're praying for our problems to be solved. That's the main reason why we're having all these problems I've talked about for the past hour and a half. That's all I have for you today. I was trying to wait for some of my panelists so that we can talk about these issues today, but it seems they're all tied up today. So, we're going to meet next Thursday and discuss these issues. As you can see from my voice, you can hear from my voice, I'm extremely tired today. So I'm just calling it a day today, and then we'll meet on Thursday and talk about some of the other issues. All right. Until then, I'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.